Hey gang, welcome to the latest edition of Nittany Next. My name is Mike Gross for LancasterOnline.com, LNP, and our show is brought to you as always by the folks at Bobby Ray Hall Lexus. I am under the weather this week. I probably sound that way, so bear with me because it's pretty difficult. I've been trying here. I've been doing some test runs to try and talk for 7 or 8 minutes nonstop without collapsing in a coughing fit. Um, and I'm confident that I'm going to be able to do it for you, the home viewer. Anyway, as you know, Penn State lost last week at Ohio State, 33-24. Played on relatively even terms with one of the best teams in the country. I think certainly one of the most talented teams and arguably the best offense in the country. It was, I think, probably the best game Penn State has played this year. And there were a couple of critical mistakes that they made that really cost them greatly. One of them, Sean Clifford, got sacked and fumbled and ended up at a 300-pound lineman rumbling 60-some yards for a touchdown. That was one of them. Another was Ohio State has a running back, Trayvon Henderson, who is a true freshman, was the best running back in the high school class of 2021. And Penn State has the best running back in the high school class of 2022 coming in next year. So if you're a Penn State fan, you got to be hoping that this guy is as good as Trayvon Henderson. It's freaky that this dude was playing high school football just 1 year ago. But anyway, Penn State did a pretty good job of bottling him up for most of the day, but there was one occasion in the second half when he turned the corner and boom, 60+ yards to set up a touchdown. And that was really the difference, those couple of snaps. But the bottom line is Penn State has lost 3 in a row now. And they head to Maryland, College Park, Maryland on Saturday for a 3:30 p.m. start. Both teams 5-3, 2-3 in the Big Ten, and Maryland got its best win of the year last week, edging Indiana. After building a 35-24 quarter lead, they held on 38-35, and the Terps got a brilliant game from their quarterback. I'm going to try to pronounce this correctly, folks. Talua Tungliavoa. You may remember his brother Tua, who was the Alabama quarterback, who is now in the NFL. Anyway, he was 26 for 40 for 419 yards passing, no turnovers last week, and he was every bit that good, probably better last year when Maryland put it on Penn State in Happy Valley, 35-19. That may have been the low point. That may have been the worst performance of James Franklin's administration at Penn State, at least until the Illinois game a couple weeks ago, which was also dreadful. But anyway, videotape of that game should be useful. I'm talking about last year's game. Should be useful to the Penn State coaches, not only as motivation, but in terms of game planning, especially for the Penn State defense, which for most of this year has looked like one of the best in the country. Tungliavoa, I'm trying, folks, was most of the show last week for Maryland. They managed just 1.7 yards per rush. Yardage, time of possession, all that stuff was essentially even in the game. And Maryland is not very good defensively. They're 83rd in the country in yards allowed per game, 95th in scoring defense, and they've actually been slightly outscored by their opponents, even though they have a winning record. 3 of their top 4, this is a good indication, 3 of their top 4 tacklers are defensive backs. That's never a good sign in terms of stopping the run. So Penn State is the better team here. But it's hard to measure the intangibles for the Nittany Lions right now. On the one hand, their aspirations for this season, a Big Ten title, contention for a berth in the college football playoff, those were very real, a month ago. Now they're gone. Now they don't exist. On the other hand, they seem capable of winning out, which would be a sizable step forward for the program after the 2020 season, which was really bad and really, I think, an aberration for in a lot of ways because of the pandemic and so forth. Um, of course, the players recall the Maryland game last year, and which was an embarrassment. That's in the back of their minds for sure. And you throw into that all of this mental and emotional mix, the ongoing turmoil about James Franklin's future, and you have to be even more unsure of what to expect Saturday than usual. But Penn State is the better team, and this is a good opportunity to sort of head into the stretch drive of this season with a positive going forward. We'll see what happens. I will be in Maryland covering the game for Lancaster Online LNP, and we hope that you will follow our Penn State coverage this week and throughout the rest of the college football season. My name is Mike Gross. Yes, I made it through without having a seizure for LancasterOnline.com. See you later.